welcome. Rabbi Frank and I are trying to hash out what's the source of these laws of Tsar Balei Chayim, the prohibitions of causing pain to animals. And many times I think, as I look at these verses that we saw from the Torah, that the real interest is on human behavior and less on the animals, and concern for the animals. And actually, you want to say the opposite. So how do you deal with this verse? We have this great verse in Leviticus 22:28, Vayikra Chaf Bet Chafchet. It says, Oto vet beno lo tishchatu b'yom echad. You don't kill an animal and its offspring on the same day. That strikes me as kind of a human behavioristic kind of model of in terms of human sensitivity. How do you understand that it's really concerned about the animal itself? In the end, the animal's dead anyway.
Right.
So what's the difference?
Right. You asked a good question. And I turn to people more experienced than I am in these matters. First, I want to look at Rambam's Moreh Nevuchim, the Guide for the Perplexed, and the third parak, the third part, chapter 48. And he says, he gives explanation. The Moreh Nevuchim, he's trying to give explanation as to why, what is the logic behind the halachas, behind the mitzvot. And he says the reason why you don't slaughter the cow and its offspring on the same day, or in front of it, is because there is no difference between the pain. He writes like this: Ein hefresh bein tzar ha'adam alav v'tzar she'ar balei chayim. There is no difference regarding the pain or the grief that an animal can feel. There's no difference in the animal's ability to feel grief than there is in a human ability to feel grief, because it doesn't rely on the intellect. He says it relies on the ability, the power to understand relationship, or the power to feel the connection to something.
As he says, the love of the mother for the offspring is no different between the human and between the animal. And here's the Rambam, who valorizes all the time the intellect, but he said this is not about the intellect. This is about something beyond intellect. This isn't about is an animal smart enough to figure out something? Does the animal have the capacity to feel? It doesn't have to be able to learn the Blat Gemara, or even know the Locha of Tsar Balei Chayim to feel Tsar. Okay, this is terrific.
Yeah,
so what does this do for us practically?
Now, in the Shulchan Aruch,
that's Yosef Karo, the great code of Jewish law in Tzfat, late 1400s.
Correct. Late 1500s, perhaps. Right. So Rabbi Karo, he brings the discussion of the Shulchan Aruch is if a lung is shriveled, is that animal that's been slaughtered, and you check it for the lungs, if it's shriveled, is it a kosher animal or is it a treifa?
Treifa means that there's something organically, as it were, wrong with it that doesn't allow it to be. So you can do the finest type of shechita, but it doesn't work. Finest type of slaughtering because the animal has something organically wrong.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And
something torn, as it were.
And what's fascinating is he writes that if the shriveledness of the lung is a result of fear in the animal, but fear of something natural, if it's the fear of lightning, the fear of thunder, the fear of hearing the roar of a lion, and that's what caused the animal's lung to shrivel, the animal's kosher to eat. However, if the agent of fear for that animal was something that was enacted by humans, and the example he gives is sheshachatu acheret lefanea, that a different cow was slaughtered in front of her eyes, and that was the fear that caused the shriveling. It's a treifa. It's forbidden to eat that animal
because it was caused by an infraction, the infraction of Tsar Balei Chayim.
Well, he doesn't say that.
He doesn't say that.
He doesn't say that. So now we have to ask, so what's the big deal if it was a human cause fear? I want to point out, Rabbi Landes, that the Shulchan Aruch is here saying an animal is able to feel grief and fear and be scared, because that's what causes the physiological reaction of this lung to shrivel,
and that has consequences for us. In other words,
does.
We can't remove ourselves from that situation.
Correct. It's also interesting that what is natural? What's natural is bad weather. What's natural is a lion's roar. What's unnatural is for a human predator to come in. That I just thought about this.
That's great. Well, the word predator bothers me, but
Okay.
even if you don't say you don't say the word predator,
the human
actor. The human actor has to be conscious of his activities to create this physiological effect, and therefore the avera would be this avera, this the sin of tsar balei chayim, but which causes a treif situation. It's unbelievable.
But we still don't know if it's for sure tsar balei chayim.
Okay.
So we're going to look now at the Yad Ephraim, which is one of the commentators around the page of the Shulchan Aruch. Mm-hmm. The Yad Ephraim, what does he say? He says, "Ein lecha tsar balei chayim yoter mezeh." There is no greater form of tsar balei chayim than what has just been described. That the fear of an animal, watching one animal being killed in front of it, and so he's now giving reason. Why does the Machaber, why does the Baal Shulchan Aruch say an animal's treifa if the lung is shriveled due to the human agent of fear? Mm-hmm. And here the Yad Ephraim is saying the explanation is because it's tsar balei chayim. Because it causes the animal such grief and fear, and there is no greater fear for an animal there's no greater tsar, pain for an animal, than the feeling of fear. Not the injury inflicted during shechita, but the fear that the animal feels in watching something before its very eyes.
And so, what are some of the practical consequences?
Well, the practical consequences for us are that tsar balei chayim is not just any kind of physical pain an animal feels, mm-hmm. but we have to take into consideration any kind of thought or feeling.
So as Rambam would say, it's imaginative faculty.
Correct.
That it actually has, it may not have the logical faculty, but it has imaginative faculty. And we become responsible for what takes place in that imaginative faculty.
Correct.
Of the either mother for the offspring or for one animal following another animal on the block.
Yafeh. We have the privilege to kill the animal. The pasuk says in the Torah, you can kill the child, the offspring, and you can kill the shore, you can kill the ox, but you can't kill one in front of the other. You can't kill them on the same day for fear they could see each other.
I see now from your source, there's actually a very interesting historical note that he brings, or societal note that he brings to this.
That's true.
Maybe you can mention that.
The Beit Ephraim, the Yad Ephraim also says, he says, when is this most not relevant, but most prevalent. Most prevalent, he says, on Erev Yom Kippurim, where people are coming and bringing their chickens for kaparas, for kaparot, and they're waiting next to the shochet. They've done their kaparas over their head, over the children's head, and they're waiting in line for the shochet to shech the animal. And while they're holding your chicken that's just been used for kaparot, it's watching the chickens of others. And what it says is that it's the practice of most people on Erev Yom Kippur to come to the shochet for the purposes of kaparas.
And so here, according to the Yad Ephraim, his response to the Beit Ephraim, what he's telling us is that terrible irony that you're coming to do an act to bring you atonement, symbolic of atonement in all its ways, and that it's eaten by the family before going into the fast, and actually a tremendous aveirah, a tremendous transgression.
It's a stumbling block.
It's a stumbling block.
It's a stumbling block.
He says a stumbling block. Okay, so we should have no more stumbling blocks, and we're going to continue this conversation. Thank you very much.
Let's go.
La 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 la